Hi everybody, I wanted to do a walk around of where I'm at with the exocet. My videos with this thing have been kind of scattered and I haven't done a consecutive series enough on it. I feel I just moved a bunch of stuff, I'm out of breath. For people just joining the channel or have no idea of the exocet at all. So I own an exocet, which is based off of Miata. So you take a Miata, well if you have a donor, I had a donor, it was an NA Sunburst Yellow Miata, which I stripped down. It was in an accident, so the front end was smashed. Well, at least the bumper and the radiator grill. It's been a long time when I think back of like how long it's been. So I just want to go over my exocet. So here it is in all its glory. So currently I have the windshield now. So the windshield's here. This is abrasion resistant polycarbonate. I have the display, which is an AIM-MXG. It's the bigger version. It just hooked up to CAN right now. I have the pigtail and everything to add whatever I want in the back. I just made all of the pigtails to add blinkers, fuel pressure, oil pressure. I'm gonna add an oil pressure gauge because, which comes to the sucky part, hold on, let me get to the sucky part. I've been waiting for a standalone since September of last year. September 1st is when I actually ordered it. Now I fully can't go full throttle on this. I can rev it, cruise it around, and then, you know, that's getting kind of boring because I really want to take it to the racetrack. So I'm still waiting on the standalone. Whatever happened with it, I don't know. So it doesn't matter. I'm still waiting. I have two Omp Champ R Seats. I think one's about to expire. One's still good for a little bit longer. I just have this lower section here. I bought from a member on Facebook to add your, you add more here, and I just want to hide these things on the side here. Whatever. I have the, I always forget which coils these are. The HPD high flow by Feel. I think it's FEAL. So it's actually sitting, it's really hard to tell on this one, but it's actually sitting reverse rake. Dragster style. No, not dragster style. It's really low in the back, but it's really hard to tell. So I'm gonna make spacers for the back because I just can't get enough travel out of raising the spring rate a little bit and adjusting this. It has a Mark 7 GTI muffler that I took off someone's car, and then I put it on here. Pretty quiet. I have this twist off thing for the fuel. I have the race quip harnesses and these just eBay wheels with these are 0 offset by I forget 8.5 or 9. These are 245 wide tires. Just stock brakes now, stock caliper, stock pads and everything. So let's go ahead and get under the hood. I have blinkers, lights, and everything. I still have to go through the process of making it road legal, and that's the main thing with this is I do want to make it street legal so I can drop my kids off at school, be the super cool dad with the race car. So that's what I'm working on. Now I'll just put this up. I'll put you guys up here on the wall to kind of show you how the hood comes off. So I just have arrow latches on the hood. And I think this thing's rotating. Arrow latches on the hood. Undo those. And then there's a harness connection which is already undone. So currently, off here, I have a 5-cylinder with a crappy turbo, a turbo manifold that I modified to recirculate to the wastegate because I did not want a uncirculated wastegate because I plan to road course this car, and I don't want to listen to if you ever driven it with a wastegate. I have an eBay fuel pressure regulator, 2.5 inch intercooler piping, just an eBay aluminum radiator, eBay aluminum intercooler, stock injectors. The car fires right up, no problem. Wiring's kind of a mess. Okay, gotta clean that up still. You're zooming in, zooming out. Now I went with this hard line here because I thought it looks really cool. I mean, or it looks a lot cleaner than vacuum line. So that's how I ran with this. I'm still in between if I want to run manual brakes or keep the power brakes. The power brakes are nice, but get rid of the booster, cleans it up, and actually the master is leaking onto my control arm and peeling the paint off. Super not cool. eBay projectors, which I'm unsure if CHP will pass these because light comes out of the back, so I'm gonna have to make some shroud for the back because light is not supposed to emit backwards, obviously, and blind you. It actually is kind of a problem because I've driven this at night once, and the only time I drove it at night, it sprinkled. It was like raining. It was so stupid. The seats were wet. I took my kid. It sucked. It was at my in-laws because what I did was I took my buddy's. It doesn't matter. Drove it on the street for a little bit, just across town. You can see that this seat's lower. This one is crooked and is a little taller because this one's on slides. This one's mounted hard, or just mounted straight. It doesn't move forward or back. I'm on the stock fuel tank. I made my own, so I have an oil cooler down here, and if you can even see that, oil cooler down here to pick up from the bottom. Now I'm gonna put a splitter on here. Oh my god, because it'll just look so much better, I think. Beer can, catch can. So I don't really know right now. So yeah, so I have these intercooler pipes go like this because there's a little indentation in the hood which helps clear and sit a little lower. Stock valve cover, you can see the hood's rubbing there. I'm going to get a aftermarket one after I pass inspection. They want a PCV, and I just can mutilate this one, do whatever, run a PCV line to the intake. Won't be a big deal. Running a precision turbo wastegate that I don't even know what spring it has in there. I don't have a boost gauge because I can't get a reading for boost through the stock ECU. I gotta mess around with the aim dash more. What else? So I'm currently making a new oil pan here. So this is the oil pan. The problem I have now with the oil pan is that it's leaking really bad. Ugh. I mean, not like terrible, but it drips on the floor. It's pretty bad. And I don't want to go through, and nobody has any available for to buy. So it's been a problem. So what I did is took my crappy welding skills, cut back way more. I bought another pan. I cut this out because I want to build a sump here, but I think I'm going to cut all the way across and build it up and slant so everything drops into here, and then kind of have a trap door. This is my buddy's for his swap for the Miata, so I can't use his. Let's see if there's anything else I'm missing here. I'm on the LSD, stock LSD out of the Sunburst NA Miata. I reinforced the ears, or those wings, on the diff. I have a custom diff support to hold the diff up because I no longer have a PPF, so I have a custom drive shaft, custom diff support, and yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with this. I wanted to do a general consensus covering on this. What else? Okay, so I have an eBay shifter here. Parking brake is not hooked up yet. I just have a quick release NRG steering wheel. The steering wheel's a little small. It kind of blocks the shift lights here, but everything still functions on this. I can turn it on. Let's see where we're at. Put it in neutral, fire it up. One thing that I do have is I had to custom make the bracket for the alternator. So I have a pulley from a Mercedes from work, and this is kind of how I have the belt system done because I don't have room for, I cut off the bottom support because a lot of people run the dual pulley, blah, blah, blah. To get the clearance, I cut all that off, so I have like one stock tensioner. I modified the water pump, pulled it forward, flipped the, so what you can do is press the pulley off, flip it forward, grind the back off, pull it forward, and I tack welded it on. So stock ECU, so it fires right up. Made these coolant lines here. I'm on some eBay fans, which aren't hooked up yet because this thing actually never really gets hot for just cruising around town. It covers like 160, 170 Fahrenheit. So yeah, no power steering, which isn't really a big deal for me. Right now, I can't decide if I want to do a power steering conversion or not. I'm on a ECS flywheel with a RS4 clutch, so it's a self-adjusting type. So, but if it's been working fine, I don't know if it's gonna hold the power for when I eventually do it. I got a Mercedes battery back here with the cutoff switch. Yeah, and then I got my brake bias right here. I haven't adjusted because I haven't been out to the track or done anything like that. My main concern is with the oil pan. So basically what I'm gonna do is, I can't decide if I wanna build an engine. So here it is. I mean, I jumped too, but I just want to show, this is it running. This is the GTI muffler. Very quiet. All these lights work. I can turn ahead and go ahead and turn this on. The front clip works, has blinkers, side markers. So I put side markers here, blinkers here. So these are kind of like sequential. Let me have. That's how the blinkers work. Like a left and right. Now one problem I have is that I don't have a hazard button because the way that this company made the control unit is you're supposed to join them together to make the hazards. But that's what I have now. It blinks for like 7 seconds and then shuts off. Got the tunnel here. So basically, oh, also I have this plate here that I finally added for rigidity. Which means I gotta take this bolt out here because this one got cockeyed in there. Because I actually ended up cutting the exocet subframe, or the frame, and pulling the engine back. So the engine actually is back and the car's almost 50-50% weight, 50-50 front and back. I haven't measured it recently with myself in it and the fuel, a full tank. I'm still working on a little of that. So yeah, that's where it is. I still got this hooked up, but the main problem I have is this oil leak from the, that's probably dripping right now. Let's see. Kind of see a glare of how much oil is leaking. It just drips over time, and then, you know, I don't want a oil leak, especially at the racetrack. I haven't got my sway bar connector in the front yet. I still need to get end links for this. Just been chilling like that, so I gotta get end links for that, which actually just reminds me I'll order some. Everything else is it's fine. I can cruise around. I just wish it was street legal. I need to finish the street legal part so I can take it to work, get an alignment, do the alignment myself, and get this car driving around. I think it's super cool neck breaker. It's super cool driving around town. And this windshield, my head actually is right above the windshield, but you don't even know, you don't feel any air when you're going. I think the fastest I've probably ever gone is about 50 miles an hour. So I don't know, people say it's good up to, you know, I don't know. Nobody knows the max limit for this polycarbonate windshield. I'm definitely gonna be going way over 100 miles an hour once I'm at the track and got a full tune. I should be around 350 horsepower to the wheels, roughly. So I don't know. Yeah, I just want to do a quick walk around. This is it running. It starts right up. Got a little bit of clutch chatter. You can kind of hear it. I got this. This is the stock exocet. This comes with the exocet. I cut it, trimmed it back a little too far. I got to add some sides here. Oh, and I had to switch to this style pedal because I could not get a pedal from a Beetle to work for the life of me. and I didn't want to try with some other random ones until I get my standalone, blah blah blah, whatever. Yeah, so yeah, headlights work. We got headlights here are on, very high. Oh, because the high beams are on. High beams are on, there's the low beams. Apparently this one's dying. It's going to white. You got this, it's pretty cool, it's work. There's the high beams. The high beams are just a flap inside here. I didn't go with the traditional 2 bulbs. I thought it was much more, you know, conservative on electronics. It's just have your flap and then you get your signal. The stock column. And probably the only thing left from the Miata is the column, the steering rack, and then the suspension. The rest is just the 5-cylinder. I don't even know if I even said that. This is this thing has a 5-cylinder 2.5 out of a VW. It's a Golf, Jetta, Passat, blah blah blah. And let me go ahead and shut it off. I worked for Volkswagen for a very long time in my early career of getting into automotive, and you know, everybody loves a 5-cylinder the way it sounds. Half a Lamborghini. I smell coolant. Oh, because the radiator's still burning off. It was a little warm. Love the 5-cylinder, sounds amazing. My friends always like, why do you want to use the 5-cylinder? Oh, I don't know. They're dirt cheap. You get one of these long blocks for 300 bucks. Wife's gone. Yeah, I don't know where I was, but worked for Volkswagen for a very long time, and this is dirt cheap. Took a little fabricating because it's obviously not made for front-wheel drive. It's made for front-wheel drive, not rear-wheel drive. There are companies that make stuff to work, but it's very few, and there's just not a lot of support. So, that's it. I'm gonna go over exocet, show you where I'm at. Running a math ECU, automatic ECU with immobilizer deleted, and that's where I'm at. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, dudes. Ma'ams, ladies, whoever's listening, watching. And cool, I'll catch you guys later. Just wanted to give an update because I know it's been so long. Goodbye.